Hello everyone and welcome out to the Curse of Naxxramas tutorial for casuals, where I'm going to run down how to beat the entire first wing using only a basic deck for those of you who haven't crafted too many cards yet. You can skip ahead to see a detailed playthrough of each of the 3 bosses, or you can stay around where I'll give an entire rundown on my basic only deck. For this guide, we'll be using a basic priest deck using only cards gained through the in-game tutorial and by playing a priest up to level 10. You don't need to craft or purchase any cards to complete this wing of Naxxramas. Holy Smite is a 1 mana spell that deals 2 damage. You can use this to kill an enemy minion or finish off a low health opponent. Power Word Shield is a 1 mana spell that grants 2 health to a minion and draws you a card. Using this keeps your minions alive and your hand full. Northshire Cleric is a 1 mana minion with 1 attack and 3 health, with the ability to draw you a card whenever a minion is healed. Use it to kill off your opponent's low health minions, then heal it and your allies up to continue to draw cards. Shadow Word Pain is a 2 mana spell that destroys a minion with 3 or less attack. Use this on an enemy minion with low attack and a high threat, such as a Sludge Belcher or a Worshipper. Acidic Swamp Ooze is a 2 mana minion with 3 attack and 2 health that destroys your opponent's weapon. Because your opponents won't have any weapons in this wing, this could be substituted out by many other 2 mana minions. Shadow Word Death is a 3 mana spell that destroys a minion with 5 or more attack. Use this on high attack enemy minions to keep your own minions alive. Ironfur Grizzly is a solid 3 mana, 3 attack, 3 health minion with taunt, which means your enemy will be forced to attack it before it attacks you or your other minions. Razorfen Hunter is a 2 attack, 3 health minion for 3 mana, which also summons a 1/1 boar when you play it. I put this in the deck in favor of 2 Shadow Word Deaths for its ability to kill off small enemy minions. Shattered Sun Cleric is a 3 attack, 2 health minion for 3 mana, which grants +1 attack and health to a friendly minion, because who doesn't want their board to be stronger? Chillwind Yeti is considered to be one of the stronger minions in the game. As a 4 attack, 5 health minion for 4 mana, it should be able to eliminate many of your opponent's threats while staying alive, which will let you heal it back up and keep it on the board. Gnomish Inventor is a 2/4 for 4 which draws a card when you play it. This will provide a nice body to clean up those enemy minions while keeping your hand full. The Sen'jin's Shieldmaster is very similar to the Chillwind Yeti, however it does sacrifice 1 point of attack for the ability to taunt. Playing this should help keep you alive. Holy Nova is the final spell in this deck, and at 5 mana, it deals 2 damage to all enemy characters and heals all friendly characters for 2 health. Use this to clean up your opponent's board when it starts to get a little overrun. Darkscale Healer is a 5 mana minion with 4 attack and 5 health. When you play it from your hand, it restores 2 health to all friendly characters. Use this to help keep your minions and yourself alive. The Boulder Fist Ogre is a huge threat who can kill most of your enemy minions and deliver the finishing blow himself. He comes in at 6 attack and 7 health for 6 mana. And that's it for this basic only priest deck geared towards taking down the first wing of Naxxramas. It's a fairly strong deck which can also succeed in ranked, although there are plenty of craftable cards which would make better substitutions. This is a basic only deck, which means that even the newest Hearthstone player should be able to tackle the new expansion with relative ease. The very first boss you'll face in Naxxramas is a Nubricon, whose hero power costs 2 mana and summons a 3 attack, 1 health minion. In my starting hand, I have a Boulder Fist Ogre, an Acidic Swamp Ooze, and a Chillwind Yeti. I'll go ahead and throw back the Ogre because he costs 6 mana and I won't be able to play him for 5 more turns. My opponent plays a Nerebar Weblord on turn 2, which increases the cost of all minions with Battlecry effects. Fortunately, I draw a card without a Battlecry effect that I can play on turn 2. I'll go ahead and throw him down so I can begin to attack some of my enemy's low health minions. I continue to place minions on the board to develop a presence. Don't be too worried if you can't play a minion on turns 1 through 3, since this deck really starts to shine on turns 4 and on. On turn 4, instead of playing the Chillwind Yeti, I instead choose to heal up my own Ironfur Grizzly. This will ensure he has to send both of his minions into my 1 to kill it, which will in turn kill his Nerebar Weblord and allow me to play my minions with Battlecry effects. After playing my Chillwind Yeti, I find an interesting trade. I can send it into the enemy Abomination, which deals 2 damage to all characters when it dies. This will kill the enemy Deathlord, summon me a minion, and bring the enemy Shade of Naxxramas into range of my Holy Smite. This leaves me with just enough mana to play my Darkscale Healer. On turn 7, I draw Shadow Word Pain, which is the perfect answer to the enemy Deathlord. I go ahead and destroy the enemy low attack minion to see what it plays from my deck. It summons for me a Northshire Cleric, which is going to be a great way to keep my board strong while continuing to play out larger and larger threats from my hand. After bringing my opponent down to 10 health and developing a strong board, I issue the well played command and go in for the kill. Our second boss is Fairlina, who can deal 1 damage to a random enemy character for each card in her opponent's hand. Once again, we're going to throw away the Boulderfist Ogre from our starting hand to make room for other minions and cards we can play on turns 1 through 4. I continue to summon minions when I can to keep up the pressure on the board and to kill Fairlina's minions when she does summon them. Although I could heal up my Northshire Clerics now, I don't feel the need to quite yet. I choose to heal up my Ironfur Grizzly in order to take out the enemy Undertaker, which can become a huge threat. In doing so, my Northshire Clerics draw me 2 cards, including a 2-mana minion I can play to increase the pressure. Playing Darkscale Healer along with Northshire Cleric is a risky play. Although usually an excellent synergy, against Fairlina it does increase the damage from her hero power. However, I feel confident in the health of my minions and my presence on the board. After continuing to build up large forces and largely ignoring Fairlina's minions, I've been able to bring her down to 12 health. I attack with both my minions and finish her off with 2 damage from the Holy Nova. The final battle is versus Naxxramas, who will use her hero power to return cards from the board to your hand. I go ahead and keep all of the original cards in my starting hand since I'm fine with playing a Chillwind Yeti on turn 4. Continue playing minions while you can. Although Naxxramas does have a very dangerous hero power, it shouldn't dissuade you from building a board presence. Don't be too discouraged if Naxxramas returns your minions to your hand. Just keep playing them out and eventually there will be too many for Naxxramas to deal with at once. Naxxramas will likely flood the board, but don't let it get you discouraged. Remember that 1 large minion can be worth 4 or 5 small ones. Continue to throw down top minions when you draw them. Even if they're sent back to your hand, it means some of your larger minions like the Boulderfist Ogre or Chillwind Yeti will stick on the board. When using your Holy Nova, make sure your enemy doesn't have a 0-2 Nerubian Egg. If he does, be prepared to deal with the 4-4 Nerubian that spawns from it. After a long battle of summoning, healing, blood, sweat, and tears, you'll finally have lethal on the board to take out Naxxramas and grab your shiny new legendary. Thank you all for watching my Hearthstone tutorial for casuals. If you have any questions or suggestions, feel free to leave them below, and subscribe for future Hearthstone content. Anyway, I've been Disciple, you've been watching, and have a great day.